Hi, Michael. How are you?
Sorry, Rachel. Pleasure. Great to meet you.
Nice meeting you. I like asking like from on a production side of things, what is it about like a story, especially one like this, that is kind of like, it's playing with perspective and we have a 13-foot man who bench presses a car. Like, what is it about stories that kind of appeal to you on the production side of things and makes you want to be involved?
Well, you have some figurines in the background, right? From Star Wars and from the early Star Wars days.
Mhm.
So it's the what Boots wanted to achieve here. It has some of the biggest ideas, boldest ideas about society, about life, about who we are as people, about how to change the world. Um, but the language and the language you utilize to tell that is fairly fantastical story as well, right? But if you want to talk about big real ideas, for him it was essential, while this be a fantastical world, an absurdist world, it feel real, right?
Mhm.
And so for us that meant make it real. All of these things should exist as much as possible, right? So it's forced perspective. That means anytime you see Cootie or Jarrell in the scene, he's actually working with the actor, right? They may be a few feet apart, they may be a bit different than normal, but they're in the scene together. When you were on the sets, frequently there were, you'd see two houses, a regular size and a giant one, or a regular size and a tiny one. Uh,
Mhm.
and so as a result, for the actors, for the cinematographer, for the production designer, for Boots Riley, most importantly, um, this whole thing is real. So they're not guessing at it when they're acting. And Boots believes, and I share this belief, that there's a quality you can't define that emerges when making it this way. Because for all the actors, they're interacting, they're not guessing at a blue screen, they're interacting with it for real. And so even though it's absurd, it's funny, it's loose, they play it straight. So for the audience, even if you see the seams, and that's intentional, we're not trying to say this is all perfect, because that also be silly. The audience knows this isn't happening for real. Um, you want them though to let their guard down and feel like they're part of the process, making it with the filmmaker.
Yeah.
So it's kind of living its values in real time. And so as a filmmaker, it's amazing because when you see that kind of technical craft on set, it's totally inspiring. And I think for audiences, they get to connect with something in the way that when we watch, by the way, a great and when you watch a studio Ghibli film, like when you watch something that's handmade and made with love, people can feel it. It has a different impact on them.
Yeah, and real quickly, like what is the most exciting now about audiences getting to see the show?
Rachel, you broke up at the very beginning of the question. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I said real quickly, I just want to know what is the most exciting thing about audiences getting to finally see the show?
Oh, it's seeing how it was made for them. So it's a true wild joyride, and it's not like I've never made anything like it. Because unless you've made something else with Boots Riley, who has? So for audiences, they get a lean-in experience. They get a dazzling wild ride. They think they're in a comedy, then it gets much more serious, then it veers again. And it's, if you look away, you get up to get a soda or a beer, you're going to miss something and you're going to regret it. So it really
Mhm.
rewards careful, focused viewing. And hopefully it's consciousness expanding, like it changes the realm of what's possible. It certainly did for everyone involved in the making of it. And we hope that energy and spirit spills over to the audiences when they watch it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Rachel. Really appreciate the time.